a 51-stone man who lost more than half of his body weight, says he now looks like a deflated balloon, due to his saggy skin. Paul Stevenson, 36, from Elveston, Derbyshire, is now hoping to raise £15,000 to have surgery to remove 3 stone of saggy skin around his body. At his heaviest he says he was Derby's fattest man, gorging on 7,000 calories a day, and refusing to leave his home for nearly 5 years, due to his fear of being judged by other people. The former bouncer now weighs 9 pounds, having lost 29 stone with the help of his gastric sleeve, along a healthy diet and exercise. Paul explained how his weight began to soar nearly 2 decades ago, after the death of his mum, Valerie, 50, left him battling with depression and such severe anxiety, that he suffered panic attacks opening his front door. But he realized he needed to make a drastic change, when during a home visit from his doctor 2 years ago, he was told he was staring down the barrel of a gun, and would die if he didn't do something. "Before I was literally dying every day. Thanks to the help I received, I'm able to start living again. I'm lucky they invested so much into me, otherwise I'd have died 2 years ago," Paul said. "I was locked in my own flat for 5 years. It was definitely an existence rather than a life, and took a lot of courage to leave my house to get the up. From there I took it one day at a time. I would have a panic attack from just opening the front door. Every day that went by I felt further and further detached from society. The thought of leaving my home crippled and petrified me." Paul says he began eating stupidly large portions, and would drink 2 liters of Coca-Cola a day. When ordering Chinese food, I would have a big plate of rice, chips and chicken balls. I would have a large pizza with chips, or a large chicken meat and chips enough for 2 people each time, he recalled. "I would order takeout food, and then wouldn't do anything to exercise it away. My laziness led me to getting bigger and bigger." However, he said a house visit from a doctor helped him to turn his life around. "He put me in touch with a brilliant clinical psychologist, who fought tooth and nail to get me a community nutritionist, and helped me to get weight loss surgery," he explained. Paul is now fundraising for surgery to remove more than 3 stone of saggy skin, that he says makes him look like a deflated balloon. "I feel so lucky for all of the help I've received and the support from family and friends, but now my biggest battle is my loose skin, which only worsens my depression," he explained. "I look like a deflated balloon, because of all the wrinkled skin. I have a pouch of skin between my stomach, that hangs low beneath my hips, so even struggle to find trousers. I'm riddled with loose skin, my stomach is very saggy, I have bingo wings under my arms, nipples and boobs that hang, as well as other problem areas. This body isn't what I should have, as I know it isn't nice. I want to look in the mirror and see what I've achieved rather than a sad reminder of who I used to be." Paul's weight gain began at 19 years old after his mother Valerie, 50, died of pneumonia, related to multiple sclerosis. As the pounds piled up, he became more depressed and anxious, refusing to leave the house for the fear of people judging him for his size. Paul said, "I never dealt with my mum's death, and the bigger I got the more depressed I became. I bottled up my emotions, and over time it ground me down. I went from being a regular outgoing guy to a recluse who never left the house for 5 years. I never even went to the shops or the doctors. It was so bad. Even my friends would have to let themselves into my house to see me. My friends and family did all they could to try to help me, but it was all about my mindset. I could only make the change once I was ready." At his largest, Paul weighed a hefty 7 pounds, giving him a body mass index of 106.5, far exceeding the healthy range, which is between 18.5 and 25. His size led to health problems, with slight exercising exhausting him and skin infections that worsened his quality of life by leaving him bedbound. Paul said, "I would do minimal physical activity. I needed help to get up and dressed, then would sit in the living room all day. The bigger I got, the more issues I had with skin abscesses. If one got infected, I would be bedridden for 4 or 5 days at a time." Paul left his home for the first time last year, while heading to receive life-changing weight loss surgery, and was shocked by how much his surroundings had changed in nearly 5 years. When people know what I've been through, they are fantastic, and now I don't feel anxious about going outside anymore. Paul has now set up a GoFundMe account in a bid to have all of the loose skin removed in the hopes he can be happy again in the future. He added, "I reckon I have at least 3 stone of excess skin on my body. It's all over and is very hard to deal with. The NHS guidelines for skin removal surgery are so strict I've been left with little other choice than to start fundraising myself. If I was to have the surgery, I could get back to football, boxing, ride a bike, running, and do so much more with my life."